You were asking about variable text with InDesign and Datamerge. Can you reiterate what your question was?
Sure. So maybe to set it up with some context, and there are 5 suits, and each suit is designated by a color and a shape. So I'm trying to create a lightweight print and play, and the text on the card needs to be the color of the suit because the background is just going to be white. But I couldn't come up with a way dynamically to do that, so I basically saved out all 10 numbers 5 times in each color and imported them through a CSV as an image. But that is horribly expensive. It took me 2 hours to do all that, and if I needed to change anything, it would be a pain in the butt.
Right. Okay. So let's figure out an easier option for you then. All right. So I just want to make sure you can see the spreadsheet. I've got it blown up really big. Hopefully the stream is clear enough, though.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
Okay. So I did just some sample spreadsheets here that seem to be similar to what you're talking about, just to kind of give you a sense of example.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about like 2 ways to do variable colored text in InDesign with Datamerge. One of them is one I used to use, and the other is what I do now. And the first one is very simple because it doesn't require any kind of grep or coding or scripting or anything like that. And that's really what I was looking for at the time. Now I know a little bit more about grep and how it works, and it makes things a little bit easier. So first, I want to just show you the way that I first learned how to do it, and one that still works perfectly fine. It's just like not the most. It's not the most like advanced way to do it.
Sure.
Okay, so basically what I've done is I've set up a spreadsheet and I've made each of the suit names, I've just chosen fire, earth, and water, to be separate columns in the spreadsheet. So if the card were to be a fire suit, it would actually show fire here, but it wouldn't show it anywhere else on these other columns because this is an earth card, so it has earth in this column and has water in this column. Make sense?
Yep.
All right. Normally, this would be all of these variables would be in one column, of course, but
Yes.
you want these to be separate colors. So this is one fairly simple way to set it up so that you can assign each of these individual placeholder variables on the InDesign file a different character style. And I just wanted to make sure I don't know if you have much experience with character styles, but just in case you do, please forgive me if I talk about it like as if you're a beginner, because I don't know who's watching. So
Yeah, definitely.
I'm assuming you already know a little bit about it. But so let's say that you needed a character style for Earth. So you would just make a character style called Earth, and right now we've got the setting for the character style to say that's 21 points. I'm going to delete that because I don't want every instance of the word Earth to be 21 points. I just want it to fit with whatever the prevailing character formatting is for the entire paragraph. The only change I want to make is that it's purple, for example. So I've set up this character style, and if I were to select any text and apply that character style, suddenly it's purple. And you can see that Earth is highlighted whenever I have the cursor inside that word that has that character style, just like a paragraph style. If you wanted to, you could make a new character style, and instead of, let me delete that, instead of purple, you wanted red, and let's call that fire. And then making another character style, I'm just going to duplicate this one and call it water, and make that character style say that the text with that style is going to be blue. So now I can just select text and choose different character styles, and hey, that applies all of the attributes of that character style consistently to all text. So, okay. So someone in the chat, NPC Chris, says he has no idea what character styles are. Character styles are basically a preset group of attributes that you can apply to text, like color, size, font, that sort of thing, that will apply consistently anytime you have that character style applied to that, assigned to that word. So for example, if I have this word set up to be the Earth character style, I could change, let's say, the font size to be 12. And let's apply the character style to this part of the text as well. And you can see that if I were to change the attributes that are assigned to the character style Earth, for example, changing the color, I could preview that, and I choose different colors, and whatever has been assigned the Earth character style is changing. Okay, cool. So, sorry about that, Matt.
No, that's actually a great refresher.
All right. So that's how character styles work, and that's kind of key to both of these methods of making keywords in text. So it's kind of important to just get a quick overview of that really quick. All right, so spreadsheets. This method of making keywords with variable text with spreadsheets does not use any kind of grep or advanced character attributes or anything like that. All you're literally doing is first connecting the data source. In this case, I've got Spreadsheet set up. Gotta find it. Should have had that ready before starting. All right, so this is the spreadsheet that I've just saved. And I am going to assign suit A here. And then without making like any spaces or anything, this is like, I'm just adding the variable right next to suit A. That's suit B, and that's suit C. All right. Now I'm going to preview this just to show what's visible here. As I toggle through the cards, it's changing the word here, just like any other variable in Datamerge. So you already know how to do all that.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I was struggling with this problem for so long, and I already see where you're going with this, and it's pretty ingenious.
Yeah. So yeah, it's this is the weird like back-asswards way that I figured out how to do it, was just doing this thing where suit A is always going to have fire in it. I'm always just going to call it fire, so I'm just going to apply the character style to that placeholder. And then the same thing here, suit B is always going to be Earth whenever it appears, so I'm just calling that, using the Earth character style there. And then I'm going to assign suit C is always water, so I just use the water character style there. And to be clear to anybody watching, that just because I've named the character styles the same thing as the variable in the spreadsheet, like there's no real connection there. I'm just calling them the same thing so that I can keep track of it. That isn't actually affecting the character styles or assignments or anything like that. It's just I'm using it for my own reference. I could call these character styles whatever. But as long as I've got the character style applied to this variable, then whenever that variable appears in a card, it will have that character style applied to it. So let's preview that really quick. And now we see that fire is red, Earth is purple whenever it appears, water is there, and that's it. That's how you do it without any grep. Make sense?
Like it.
Cool. All right. So that's the easy way, simple way to do it. The only problem is that when you're organizing your cards, it's kind of hard to set up. I like to rearrange my card list sometimes to see like, okay, these are all the Earth cards or these are all the fire cards. And it's a little tricky to do that in alphabetical order if all of your variables are set up in separate columns. So just for organizational purposes, I don't really care for that. So here is what I would do with grep and how I would set up a spreadsheet to accommodate it. This is how I would set up a spreadsheet, just like a normal card deck. There's only one variable called suit, and I am using different words here. This could be whatever. So blah. Let's call this blah, and blah again. All right, just by way of example, because I'm going to do some interesting stuff here. All right, so let's save that. Saving CSV. Save that in the folder. Let's go to another document here that I've got set up already. All right, So here's how to set up variable text with grep. Now grep is, I think it's a programming language that comes from Linux. I don't know that for sure. You may know that better than I do. But all I know is that it has some very powerful features that can be a little bit intimidating because it just looks like gobbledygook whenever you're looking at it. But it's really cool, and basically all I've done is whenever I have a problem that needs to be solved with some kind of advanced character styling that needs to be updated, dynamically, I just look up what it is I need to do, or what I'm trying to do, and then usually there's some kind of grep tutorial that does specifically that thing, and that's how I've learned some little bits here and there. So all that said, character styles are basically the same thing that we've got here. We should have, let me copy paste this so that the character styles copy over. All right, so now I've got earth, fire, and water on this new document that have the same attributes that we talked about before, that they're not changing any font sizes or anything. All they're changing is the character color. So those character styles are great, but we need a paragraph style that will apply to the entire paragraph. And let's call that body serif. All right. Oh, actually, wait. I already got a paragraph style here. Hey. All right. So this paragraph style is called suit, and the attributes that it has are that it's minion pro, regular, size 30, leading is 36 point, and you can do all sorts of other stuff with paragraph styles here. You can change the leading, you change the tabs, the indents, all that stuff. The key thing that we want to focus on right now is grep style. And that's a sub menu here within the paragraph style options, and you'll set up a new grep style, and let's say we want to apply the earth character style. And what this does is that anytime a certain string of text appears in a body of text that has the this paragraph style applied to it, it'll automatically replace it with a character style that we've already set up. So in this case, it's looking for the text, say, grep. Let's just say grep. Now, you can see that because I've told it to change any instance of grep to earth, it's changing it to earth. I can also tell it to go with fire and click OK, and it'll change that too. Now, the interesting thing is that as soon as I change that string at all, so if I delete the E, it's not grep anymore. It's not that particular string of text anymore. So so it doesn't apply that character style anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so that's grep now. But let's say we wanted to add more text to it. You can see that you get some issues here because sometimes, for example, if you want to change the word like hat to a keyword font or keyword character color, the problem is that it would apply that to the word that or Chatham County or like anything that has the specific string HAT in it. It'll change all of that. So what you want to do is add boundaries to the string that InDesign is looking for. So say you go back to the grep style. It just so happens. Say you want it to block there. So let's go. It's /b and /b, and /b represents a boundary of the word, a word boundary. So let's say it's looking for, and I'm hoping this is big enough that you can see on your screen. I know it's rather small, but this first command says that it's b. Second bit of copy here is the word that we want to change to, so let's call that fire, and let's put another boundary there. Okay, so that's cool. And here is a fun test. Let's type fire. Hey, that works. And what if we tried just to type fired? Hey, it doesn't apply that character style anymore because there's no space here. As soon as there's a space here, that's a boundary in that word, and so that becomes fire and applies a character style to it automatically. Make sense so far?
Yeah, great.
Okay. So what we want to do is make more grep styles for this paragraph style that apply to all of the different suits. So let's do that. I'm gonna literally copy paste that string because if I've done it once, I don't want to have to redo it all over again. Let's call that earth and use the earth character style and make a new grep style, call that water, copy paste the string, replace fire with water. All right, and you may see where I'm going with this too. Let's select the data source that we've just saved. So that's the spreadsheet here with grep. And now, because I've got just one variable, just one placeholder here that I've got from my Datamerge, I'm not applying any character styles to it. You'll note that it has character style none here. The only thing that that's different about this is that I've got this whole paragraph assigned the suit paragraph style, which in turn within the paragraph style is a grep command that says, hey, whenever you see this particular string of text, change it to this particular character style. And with Datamerge, that means that whenever it automatically replaces that variable placeholder with the text that we're talking about, it'll automatically assign that character style, which in turn is calling upon various colors or fonts or whatever. Making sense?
Yeah, it's good.
All right, so let's say we wanted to do a command like change oh, I think it is case sensitive too. I could be wrong about that. Let's see. Yep, it is case sensitive. So if that matters, we'll talk about that in a sec, but let's just say change earth to fire and water. You see that just typing the words automatically changes those keywords. That's fun, I think, and I just find that really, really handy. But if you do want to change or make it not case sensitive, you can go back to the paragraph style, go to grep, and one of the commands you can insert is the I forget what it's called, the vertical line that's just above your return key, and just type fire. So now any instance of fire or fire with a lowercase f will have the character style applied to it. Let's try that again. So if this was just lowercase f, hey, it still has it. And this is nice too, because if your paragraph font has a nice oh, it's called a pipe. Hey. Yes. So the nice thing is that if you have a font that has ligatures like this, like Minion Pro does, it'll automatically replace those characters with those ligatures, but still keep your cool colored character style. Make sense so far?
Yeah.
All right. You want to go one step further?
I would love to.
Sorry, I'm just kind of like following the chat here, and they're asking if you could go one step further with this and actually replace the keywords with icons. And yes, you can. And the tricky thing here is that if you do, you have to make sure that you're using, like, if for example you have a Wingdings font here, let's just go to Zap Dingbats. What I'm doing here is changing the character style Earth to be the font Zap Dingbats, and let's see what happens to the word Earth when we do that. Okay, it's changed the fire character style as well for some reason. I bet I know why. It's because it's based on Earth. You see that pull down tab here? I'm gonna make that none, and I have to manually change the fire thing to not have. Oh dear. For some reason, I cannot remove that font. I'm gonna delete this character style and make an entirely new character style. that's fresh. Let's call it fire. Make sure it has. See, that's the thing. When I have text selected, it's automatically making a new character style that has those attributes of the selected text. So character style. There, good. The font family should be blank. That's what I'm looking for. Fire, and making sure again it's not based on anything else because I don't want to go into this problem again. There. Okay. And what is going on here? That has none.
Does that have something to do with the paragraph style?
Perhaps so. Oh, I see. There's some extra stuff here that's applied to it. I'm gonna reset the paragraph style. There it goes. And paragraph style. Let's go back to the grep commands and see what happened here. When I deleted the character style fire, it just reverted in grep to none. So let's assign fire to that again. And hey, it's fixed. But right, okay, that was a weird digression. But yes, you can totally change fonts and use unique icons for as variable text in part of your character style. And you can use a website called Icomoon to make a font that is specifically to create new ligatures. Ligatures are when, for example, in this font, when an F and an I appear together, you see that little bridge there that appears between the F and the I, and it removes the dot over the I. It's an old typographic feature from back in the day when people were still setting books with metal slugs. But it's carried over because it just reads a little bit smoother sometimes whenever you have these words together, so you don't have this odd overlapping I over the overhanging F. But ligatures are still with us and still happen in various fonts that you find professionally. And Icomoon, yep, Chris, that's the one. Icomoon allows you to make your own fonts that have their own ligatures. So say, for example, you wanted to make a ligature that just said fire, but you needed to make sure that the word fire was replaced always with an icon, like for a fire symbol. All you would do is make a ligature that had FIRE as your ligature, and then set your character style to be a particular font that would be the font that you make with Icomoon. And so after that whole rigmarole, it would automatically replace the word fire with that symbol. And it would still have whatever colors or whatever applications you wanted to have to it, like font size and that sort of thing. Okay, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Any questions?
No, actually. So to go back to the original problem, this grep thing is really amazing, and I actually now know of a reason to use it that I didn't previously know I had. So that's great. The thing that I have kind of a problem with in mine is that I have numbers that I want to replace with color, but the number 10 has 5 different colors. So using the grep style on the number 10 won't work. But luckily, your original example about having the different columns and then the different variables just next to each other, yeah, exactly like that. And then I can just say, regardless of what's in suit A, be it 1 through 10, it's going to be red. And then suit B is going to be purple. And then suit C is going to be blue. So even though this, like you said, is the less powerful and slightly more clunky version when it comes to the actual spreadsheet, I think this is going to fill my need right here.
Okay.
But then again, like I said, the grep style, so I have a different game where there are keywords in the action, and having that keyword have a grep style on it to change maybe those colors to make them unique to the action itself would make them a little easier to recognize. So both great techniques that I see myself using in current game designs.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm glad it helped.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, hopefully this helps everyone who is watching too. Matthew, thank you for letting me record this. Hopefully it'll be on YouTube fairly shortly. And maybe if you have any other questions, we can do this again.
Yeah, love to. Thanks.
Thank you.